Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katelyn from Florals.com and today I am back with another card tutorial for my card capsule kit that I've worked on. I am still having a bunch of fun with this kit and hopefully you guys are having fun watching me. But today we're actually going to get to some more stamping because I really wanted to do a fun background with these colors. Now I've chosen the bottom right cactus, which is the feature inspiration for this kit. If you guys missed my actual kit share, I'll have that link down below, as well as the playlist so you can catch up on all the cards. But this particular cactus has a couple different shades of green and orange, and I wanted to make a fun background featuring some of those colors. So I went through my ink swatches there to pick out which colors I wanted to stamp with, and of course I'm pulling out this recollection stamp set that I haven't used yet and wanted to use these cactuses to create a little bit of a background. So we've got a bright lime color, and then we've got Lucky Clover, the Distress Oxide, and really I don't use lime a lot, which is really kind of crazy because I feel like there's a lot of lime in some of my photos, like just various naturey things, you know, lots of shades of green or the bright colors at Disney World. I just don't reach for lime a lot, so I'm glad I got to feature it today. I'm actually stamping on Nina Solar Crest white cardstock, cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Usually I like to, when stamping backgrounds, have a larger surface than I need. So I'll cut it to a full card size and then trim it down from there if I need to, which is what ends up happening for this card. So really I just wanted to alternate the colors a little bit to give it a bit of variety. So you'll see me sort of stacking them every which way. And this cactus is super cute. It's not an exact match to the cactus cat that I'll be using, but it provides more of that sort of theme of cactuses throughout this, and perfect for a friend who loves plants and cats, which is really the ultimate goal for this kit, I suppose, is to make things for people who love cats and plants. So I let that dry a little bit because Distress Oxide can get a little smudgy sometimes, and while I wait for it to dry, I actually want to go through and find some pattern papers I might want to feature. I actually pull out a yellow, I pull out some wood grains, I actually pull out a lot that I don't end up using, and it's really interesting. I love all the patterns in this paper pad from Jen Hadfield there. It's one of my favorite paper pads I've ever owned. I had it, some of the 12 by 12 sheets as well. I struggle to use it all the time because the actual patterns themselves are so vastly different from each other. It's hard to mix and match them since they either have very similar sized patterns, like the pineapples are the same size as the lemons page, for example. You can't really use those together because they compete. But I thought it'd be good to try to use one for the background here and maybe one for some layering. So I actually cut the wood grain with triangles on it first. I'm not convinced. I'm really gravitating towards this yellow honeycomb pattern, and I think the main reason is because of the different size of the pattern. The other pattern just seems too small to be comparative next to that giant cactus pattern, so what I end up doing is cutting the yellow one as well, which hopefully I'll be able to use the other card base soon, but I end up stacking both of them. So I have the wood grain with triangles, the yellow honeycomb, and then I have the actual background I made myself with my stamped cactuses. But I'm still not 100% settled on it. I'm not sold. I'm still thinking, what can I do to make this feel right? And in the end, it meant ditching the triangle paper and letting the yellow speak for itself. There's nothing wrong with a white border as well. Sometimes that can really help a page have a little bit of extra pop. But I also was really longing to include some orange, but there wasn't any orange in any of my paper pads I included in this capsule kit. Luckily, a quick look through my washi tape, and I found a washi tape that's very similar in pattern and color to the cactus cat pot that I am looking to match. So perfect, but we did need a small layer in between because they are so similar. So actually grab this wood grain and hopefully want to use it. It's just a little tiny scrap I'd put back. It has some torn edges, which I think is really fun design to have a little bit of extra texture and dimension just by tearing your paper. And then I also look for what sentiment will fit on this particular page. Then I started thinking to myself, you know, that background's quite plain, so let's add something else. So I go through my Lawn Fawn Meow You Doin' stamp set and pull out this little paw print because I figured if it's going to be a cat cactus birthday, it shouldn't just be cactuses in the background. So I end up stamping with the same colors, these little paw print sets, just to add a little bit of extra pattern to the background, some interest, some dimension, and a little more touch of cat. So I end up loving this brown. It's very dark brown wood grain, and I use that as a layer to hold up my little cactus pot here and to give a little bit more dimension between the background and that washi tape. Because again, they are very similar. More similar on camera than they are in person, but they are very similar. And I also wanted to match an ink to that orangey red color so I could stamp my sentiment in it, which is actually perfect because, as you guys might know, if you're familiar with this Lawn Fawn stamp set from my kit share, it actually says Happy Purrthday, which is perfect yet again for my little cat cactuses. I end up selecting the Lawn Fawn Pumpkin Spice ink. It is one of my go-to orange colors. It is absolutely perfect. That is just on Nina Solar white cardstock. And here I actually wanted to add more to the background. I thought it looked too plain, so I had these heart stickers, which I've had for a while, just from a random shop that I'd picked them up, and I had layered in some of the yellow and green ones there to fill in the blanks from the paw prints. Then we start assembling. I have my little sentiment strip there that I want to make sure I measure properly before trimming it for a little banner edge because I thought that would add a little bit more dimension too. And I want to make sure the sentiment fits before I actually glue down my little cat cactus. But overall, I'm super duper excited with how this one turned out. And I'm just going to layer that between the wood grain layers there so it has a little bit of extra framing around it so it really catches your eye. So after that is in place and I can finally glue down my little cat cactus, I end up using liquid adhesive on this to help the foam stick as well as the bits that don't have any foam underneath them, just so it feels a little bit more stable and secure. Then I need to finish up this background. I actually wanted to switch some of the colors. I thought they were too close together, and so I swapped a yellow and a green one there to make it a little bit more lively, and finish it off again with some heart stickers. Now I thought about adding a couple other things like rhinestones or gems, but I didn't want to go too overboard. So what I ended up deciding on to finish this card was just a couple little itty bitty, very small enamel dots. These ones are from W+9. They're some of the smallest enamel dot sizes I've ever seen, and that's why I love them so much. But when it comes to me, you might know more is more, and I ended up finishing off that green color in this set. And it did mean excessive enamel dots on one card, but that green is really hard for me to use, so I'd rather just use it up while I can and have fun with it on this card. But that completes this card. If you want to see the look on what I put on the inside, I shared that more on Patreon. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed card 2 of our card capsule kit. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next set of cards that'll come out from this kit. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys!